प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः।
ॐ प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः. We are studying Shankara's introductory commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, and we have seen that he is beyond everything, Narayana, and he is Vishnu, and he has created the world, and he has a desire to protect that world, and for that purpose he has taught two types of religion to two different sets of people. Both the types are included in the Vedas. One is pravrutti lakshana, that means of the nature of external activity, and the other is nivrutti lakshana, not only withdrawal from activity, but going inside and inside till we find our own real nature. That is nivrutti lakshana. And then dirghena kalena anushtatrunam kamodbhavat. So for desire to rise, we do not require to do something. If we do not do anything, then the very passage of time will rouse our desires. This is the great lesson. Automatically, progress does not happen. We have to say water is there. We have to pump it or allow the sun's rays to suck it. Otherwise, water will go down by its own real nature, its own nature. And so, that is a great lesson, that if we become slack, if we stop our attempt to go up, we will definitely go down. And the desires increase. Then the irreligion, wrong actions started overpowering the righteousness, and it became supreme. And then at that point, to save this world, the Lord had become Krishna himself, apparently as a part of Vasudeva in the womb of Devaki. And to protect the Brahminhood, he has done this. Because if the Brahminhood is protected, all varnas and ashramas, stages of life, and the different caste, apparently different different types of birth due to sattva rajatama gunas, they will all be safe. Up to this we had read. Then we are reading now Sacha Bhagavan Jnana Aishwarya Shakti Balavirya Tejo Visada Sampanna. Now this point that he has summed up what is Bhagavan by telling Jnana Aishwarya Shakti Balavirya Tej. But if you please open the Shankara's commentary on the 37th shloka of the 3rd chapter. If possible, please open the Shankara's commentary on the 37th shloka of the 3rd chapter. There, drawing from Vishnu Puran, he has defined Bhagavan in two different ways. One is Aishwaryasya Samagrasya Dharmasya Yashasa Shriyaha Vairagyasya Atha Mokshasya Shandam Bhaga Iti Rana. These 6 are called Bhaga. What are those 6? Aishwarya, the Ishwar Bhav, Dharma, virtue, righteousness, Yasha, the success and fame. Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth or riches. Vairagya, but all this on one side, the other side, supreme dispassion. And final goal, moksha. These six are called Bhagav. And then again, this is from Vishnu Puran, 6th skanda, 5th chapter, 74th shlok. And then again, he has defined Bhagav in another way from same Vishnu Puran, 78th shloka of the same section. Utpattim pralayam chaiva bhutanam agatim gatim vetti vidyam avidyam cha savachyo bhagavan iti. So here Bhaga is 6 types of knowledge. 6 types of knowledge is called Bhaga. And that is knowledge of creation and preservation, the beings come into being and go away, and culture of knowledge and disculture of knowledge or wrong knowledge. One who knows this is called Bhagavan. This will be necessary in the next paragraph where he calls Vyasa as Bhagavan. Now both of these definitions apply to Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Not will find he has called Vyasa also Bhagavan. Now Vyasa is not God. And so the first 6 do not necessarily apply to him, but he has all the knowledge. And so the second definition is useful for Vyasa also. So I asked you to refer to Shankara's commentary on the 37th shloka of the 3rd chapter. There he has defined Bhagavan in 2 different ways. Both are applicable to Bhagavan Shri Krishna, but the only second one is applicable to Vyasa. We should be very clear. Otherwise the confusion comes. How Vyasa is Bhagavan? Is Vyasa God? That doubt comes. And therefore, we must know that the Bhagavan word is defined in 2 different ways. Both are applicable to God, but for a man of knowledge, the second one applies. So that is Vyasa. Now, we continue there. Such a Bhagavan, here a little different are mentioned. Jnana, Aishwarya, Shakti, Bala, Virya, they are all included. I said yesterday that Shakti itself is mentioned in 3 different words. So power, to retain that power and all that. Teja, he is always endowed with that. Nitya Vartate. Now what he did? Trigunatmikam Vaishnavim Swam Mayam Mula Prakritim. Mula Prakriti, the original Prakriti. Prakriti means God's own nature, God's own power. We should not be deluded by the word Prakriti. We should not go to Sankhyas or Yogis for that. It is Vedantic Prakriti. Bhagavan himself will tell, my own Prakriti, my own Maya, my own Prakriti. So, and he will, in the later on 7th chapter, he will say, this is my lower Prakriti, that is my higher Prakriti. So my Prakriti, God's power, God's nature in a way. Prakriti is nature, lower nature and higher nature. So his own power, you may say, is also called Vaishnavim Swam Maya, Vishnu's own Maya, Vishnu's own power, because of which we are deluded. Vishnu's own power to apparently create, preserve and destroy the world, which deludes us. We take the world to be fully real and that deludes us. So that is Vishnu's Maya. and also Swam, because Bhagavan Shri Krishna has been identified with that Narayana and that Vishnu. So Vishnu's Maya is his own Maya, is his own Mula Prakriti. Vashikritya, it subjugated that nature. It brought into play under his own control that very Shakti of his, that very power of his, that very nature of his. How? What is his real nature on one side and how it appears on the other side? That is called Maya or his Prakriti. Aja, he is unborn. Now here, let me offer a comment. We have our brothers. We think that they are nothing but Hindus. But they somehow, these days, think they are separate. I am referring to the Sikh people. Now, they also know that Bhagwan cannot be born. They call this Aja as Ajuni. They get confused by this point. They say, if Bhagwan cannot be born, how can there be an incarnation? So their 10 gurus, they take as incarnation of Raja Janak, not a Bhagwan. Because Bhagwan is Aja. How can he take birth? Now, that is replied here. That is the answer to them. They should read that. Aja's son, though I am Aja, I appear to be born. I need not be born as we all are born. Sambhavu had already told. So he appears to be born. He appears to do good to people, meaning that he, in his own real nature, is beyond everything. That is the meaning. In his own real nature is beyond everything. And yet he appears to be born, appears to be doing good to people. So that is the important point by which the wrong understanding of the Sikhs should vanish. Aja, Avya adds to that. He cannot be changed in any way. He cannot be reduced in any way. And yet he appears to be born as a man. Appears to have some diminished powers, but which are not. The six things are eternally with him. As they are with God, they are with the incarnation. Because he is not different. He himself has appeared as Krishna. Bhutanam Ishvaro. He is the Lord, Creator, Preserver and Destroyer, and Lord of all beings. We say he is the governor, he is the president, but everybody is working under him. The different gods, Indra, Chandra, are all working under him. He is the one real supreme ruler. That we must remember. Then his nature. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Svabhava Api. He is eternally unchanging. He is Nitya Shuddha. He is always pure because he is one without a second. There is no chance of any adulteration, any impurity in him. There is nothing apart from him. He appears at the whole world. So where is the question of adulteration or mixing something or impurity or a subject-object desire to bow? That is not there. So we must understand this is the nature of Lord Krishna. Nitya, Shuddha Buddha. He is always awake for his real nature. He knows it. Always. Never it is absent from his consciousness. Mukta, Svabhava, Mukta, that means free. He is not bound by anybody. He is not bound to create the world. That is the mistake with Sankhya. They say if God is imperfect, how can he create the world? If God is perfect, why should he create the world? That means our own things are born of our abha, and that we want to impute on God. That is wrong. God is beyond all wants. Yet, Gautpaji will explain, it is his nature to appear like that. You cannot challenge it. This one must remember. That is not under anybody's sway. Whatever he is doing is free. And so, Mukta Svabhava api san Swamayaya, by his own power, by his own nature, Dehavan Eva appears to be with a body. In his consciousness, he is beyond everything, he has no body. And yet, he appears to have a body. He appears to be embodied. Jata ivacha lokanugram kurvan iva lakshate. He is not doing good to people like we egoistically do good to people. He will say, I have done everything, I am doing everything, and yet I am not doing anything whatsoever. This appears to be a paradox, but it is his dual nature that is beyond everything and he is everything. He is beyond everything and he is the Lord of everything. So he appears without changing in his real nature. That is the meaning. Without change in his real nature, this is what Shankara talks about in incarnation. And to say Jnanis do not believe in incarnation, I told you that Jnani is only constitution of the mind. It is not talking about the real Jnani. Where to find a real Jnani other than Shankaracharya? And he see how devotedly he talks of Bhagwan. Again, something more. So prayojana abhave api. This one must understand. While studying an incarnation, Sri Ramakrishna is a model before us, Buddha is a model before us. There is no self-want. There is no want in his small self. No selfish want with him. No prayojan, no extra grind, no selfish interest. That one must remember. Why Bhagavan did this? Why he did this? Don't impute any selfish motive on him. If he appears to be doing something, it is for the good of the entire humanity. In the great master, Sardan Swami has shown every little action and every little thought and talk of Sri Ramakrishna. If you try to find out any meaning in it, as an individual, will not find any meaning. We'll have to say this is a madman. But if you find the cosmic purpose behind it, then we'll find the real meaning. So that is what is mentioned here. Direct example we have. So prayojana abhave api bhutanu jigrukshaya. That is called compassion on the people. In order to show compassion on the people, what he did? He became Krishna. Now what he did? Vaidikam hi dharma dvayam, the twofold religion told in the Vedas, pravritti lakshana and nivritti lakshana, Arjunaya, to Arjuna. We have discussed Arjuna a lot, huh? Arjunaya, remember all those things. Shoka moho madho dado nimadnaya, but at that point, Arjuna was drowned as it were in sorrow, delusion, the big ocean of sorrow and delusion Arjuna was drowned in. To such Arjuna, who was a great man, but man. And so man has these fits. And we'll see later on, Krishna himself has aroused his attachment and solved it. And so that point, Arjuna, the great man, I told that is many things like us, but he is great because of his idealism, Shokamoho Moho Dadho Nimagnaya Upadidesha taught him. Why? Why? To him, not to any other body, not to Duryodhan, not to Bhima or Yudhishthir even. Why? Gunadhikaihi gruhita anushthiyamana cha dharma, when a man has many qualities. Guna adhikai means he might have some defect. We do not deny that, because of which he is near to us, and but his gunas are more than demerits, evidently. So his good qualities are adhika, means more than his bad qualities. That much is sufficient. And such a person, Gruhita, when he will catch that teaching, Anushthiyamana cha, and will practice it actually. That is his greatness. He will not just listen, he will practice whatever has been taught, and that will be the lesson for us. So, Anushthiyamana cha dharma, then that dharma, the pravritti lakshana, nivritti lakshana dharma, that virtuous, that rightful conduct and thought, prachayam gamishyati, will be spread everywhere. And it has spread. How many thousands of years have gone? And the Gita is spreading even today throughout the world. Gamishyati iti. Iti means this was Krishna's thought in teaching Arjuna, whose virtues superseded his vices. And because if such a person receives and practices, then it will spread throughout the. So the purpose is for all of us. Bhutano Jagrukshaya. It is not only for Arjuna. Arjuna was in a depressed state. He took the advantage of it. He created that attachment. He awoke that, aroused that attachment and solved it, so that all of us, good people. So here one thing it tells that we have to be good, better than our age. Then we can appreciate Gita. Anyway, so he taught Arjuna, when people like Arjuna will practice, imbibe and practice, then it will spread. And the result is this, even after thousands of years, it is still spreading. Tam dharmam, that virtue, that religion, that righteous conduct and thought, Bhagavata yatha upadishtam. So see, in this para, two places he will apply the adjective Bhagavan. Bhagavata, that means by the Lord Krishna, who satisfies both these six conditions, that Bhagavan yathopadishtam, as he taught, Veda Vyasa Sarvajno Bhagavan. Mind you, Veda Vyas. Now Vyas is not the proper name of any person, please. Lot of confusion people have created simply because of the name Vyas. What is Vyas? Those who have studied geometry, they know. A circle has a diameter. Diameter in Sanskrit is called Vyas. The meaning is that he knows knowledge from this end to that end. He knows knowledge from this end to that end. If any people is found, any man is found to have such a knowledge, he is called Vyas. So Vyas is not a name. Because people confuse. Later on there came a Badarayana Vyas and he composed the Brahma Sutras. So Brahma Sutras, many people think that they are by the same Vyas. No, Shankara has never confused it. There he always says Badarayani, Badarayani. He does not take the name of Vyas even, though people call him Badarayana Vyas. And it has been found that there is another Vyas who commented on the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. His third Vyas known to us. There is a book by one professor Srivastava of the Allahabad University, who has translated with his own comments Patanjali Yoga Sutra. And there he has clearly mentioned that the Vyas who has commented upon the Patanjali Sutras is not that much genius as the previous two Vyasas. We have clearly accepted that. So one must remember that Vyas is a title, meaning one whose knowledge from this end to that end. These days in Maharashtra and Gujarat, Vyas is a family title. How many Vyasas there? Tam dharmam bhagavata yathopadishtam Veda Vyasa. He's called Veda Vyas because the Vedas literature, we have defined what is Vedas, that Sukshma knowledge. It is going on growing and growing and growing. And there was no method of writing in those days. Then how the progeny will retain it? So this Vyasa is also called Krishna Dvaipayan Vyasa by name. Veda Vyasa is another work which he did. He had several disciples. He had 4 main disciples. So he divided this Vedic literature into 4 different parts and taught it to 4 disciples that their memory was strong. They should, with the help of their disciples and all the branches, they should memorize this Veda. They should remember this Veda. This should remember this. In this way, he is called Veda Vyas. Veda Vyas because he divided Vedas, growing literature, and divided in 4 different styles that we are not discussing here. What are those types? But he divided and gave it to his 4 disciples so that they, with the help of their disciples, will retain them. So it's called Veda Vyas. His actual name is Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas. Krishna is his name. He is also a little dark in color, or whatever may be the reason, his name is Krishna. And he was born in an island, so Dvaipayana, born in a Dvipa. That is the actual name. And he's called Veda Vyas because he divided the Vedas and gave it to 4 people. Veda Vyasa Sarvajna Bhagavan. This is the hint, clear hint. He is called Bhagavan because he is Sarvajna. So the 6 types of knowledge define Sarvajnata. He knows everything. So he is called Vyasa, he is called Bhagavan because of his Sarvajna nature. Not because he is the creator of his or he is not actually God. So one need not confuse how he is also God. No. Bhagavan, God is Bhagavan Krishna. Bhagavan Sarvajna Veda is Veda Vyas. What he did, Gita Kai Sapta Veshloka Shatai Upanibabandha. That is Shankara's supreme faith on the scriptures. He says, some people say he must have added some words to make it poetry. Shankara does not accept that. He says, whatever whatever way Bhagavan taught, that very thing Vyasa composed into poetry. Vyasa made poetry out of this. Upanibabandha gave it a form, gave it like an essay, a form of writing. Upa means he did not compose. Upa means secondarily. Bhagavan taught, he composed. He had that power. He was Sarvajna and he had a great power also because of that Sarvajnata. And so he did this for our sake. As Lord spoke, now there is a story behind this also. We'll come to that story. You see, Dhritarashtra, the father of the Kauravas, he was very eager to know what is happening, but he was afraid to see the death of his son. Now Vyasa had that power. Not like modern TV, huh? Actually, his charioteer Sanjay, Vyas said, I can give that power to Sanjay. He will narrate to you. So Vyas had the power, Vyas had to perceive whatever is going on anywhere. That is a yogic power. Yogic power, whatever is happening at a distance, he can know. And he had the power to confer that power on others also. So he did it to Sanjaya, and Sanjaya narrated everything to Dhritarashtra. That is how the Gita has come to us. So, in how many shlokas? Saptabhi shloka shatai, 700 shlokas. So, all books of Gita, especially having Shankar's commentary, or without that also, has 700 shlokas. Why I am mentioning? Because the Sridhar Tika has 701 shlokas. In the 13th chapter, Bhagavan is going on speaking, but there a question has been put in the mouth of Arjuna. So 701 it becomes. But Shankara does not accept that. Shankara has 700 shlokas in his version. Upanibandha. Tat idam Gita Shastram. That Gita is a supreme scripture, not only essence of all the Vedas. Tat idam Gita. That this Gita Shastra, samasta Vedartha Sara Sangraha Bhutam. It is the Sara Sangraha of all the Vedas. Sara means the essence. Now, this part of the Vedas has essence, that part of the Vedas has essence, that part of the Vedas has essence, the karma part has some essence, the jnana part has, or the collection, Sara Sangraha of all the Vedas, because Vedas are the supreme, unalloyed, beginningless, endless spiritual knowledge. From that, the essence from different parts have been collected. That is the nature of the Gita. We saw all Upanishads are covered like that. Not only Upanishads, even the Karma Kanda has been taken by the Gita, given a new color. Samasta Vedartha Sangrasang. Now, because of that, what has happened? Durvidneyartham. Difficult to realize, difficult to understand. Now, what is the meaning of difficult? Anywhere, this word difficult appears in a spiritual context. It does not mean like a difficult mathematical problem or difficult philosophical problem, not at all. Difficult in spiritual life means deeper, not to be understood on the surface. The meaning is very deep. That also, in the great master Sadhana Swami has clearly shown. The higher the mind rises, the deeper it understands the meaning. So, Durvidneyartham, deeper to understand. That is the nature of the Gita. Arjuna could understand, but we are not able to understand because it is deep. Arjuna satisfied himself by asking questions and Lord replied to all the questions. But for us, then what happens? Because of this difficulty, many people, thinking that they are big acharyas, they came forward to interpret it. Tad artha avishkaranaya. Avishkaran means discover, to bring out. To bring out that meaning which is very deep. Tad artha, the meaning of that Gita which is very deep. Avishkaranaya, for opening out before people. Anekai, so many. Vivruta pada padartha vakyartha nayam api. Vivruta, that means exposed by many people. How? By word meaning, sentence meaning, in that way they have done. Api, though it is done like that, atyanta viruddha anekarthatvena, Laukikai gruhyamanam upalabhya. Shankar says, what did I see? I see the ordinary people. Laukika means ordinary people. Ordinary people take totally opposite, many totally opposite meanings from the same Gita because of their commentaries. Because of their commentaries, literal commentaries, many people, because it is deeper, many people take different, totally opposite and different meanings from that very Gita. Upalabhya, that is what I found. Aham, Vivekata. Shankara has done only one criteria. What is real, what is unreal, what is truth, what is false, what is permanent, what is non-permanent, depending upon that, what is right and what is wrong. This is called Vivek. Shankara has not gone into that type of Padapadartha Vakyartha. He might have gone, but he has added, remember, Bhavartha, Gudartha, Tatparyartha, especially Tatparyartha. What is the implication? What is, we have to find out what is the inner meaning that he has shown you. And that is why we are following Shankara's commentary. Aham Vivekata Artha Nirdharanartham, to determine the real meaning, Sankshepato in short. In short does not mean like formula. No. In short means the essential things I have explained. I have not gone beating about the bush. That is the meaning of Sankshepa. Direct meaning which I understood in that method, I explain to people, Vivaranam Karishyami. I shall be doing the description, not commentary, description of the meaning, real meaning. That is what Shankara says. So now, we discussed Anubandha Chatushtaya, and that Shankar says everybody who comments or who gives the meaning of a Vedantic scripture must do every time. And that is why now we get Anubandha Chatushtaya in Shankara's language, but not from his mind. Everything will bring from the Gita shlokas themselves and support by some other scripture. But from the Gita shlokas themselves, he will bring out now the Anubandha Chatushtaya. That is the next topic. Tasya asya Gita Shastrasya, that of this Gita Shastra, Sankhepata, in short, Prayojanam. First you take the purpose of the Gita Shastra. Param Nishrayasam, the ultimate benefit, the moksha, the fullness, the perfection, that is the Param Prayojanam. Param Nishrayasam. How? Sahetukasya sansarasya atyanta uparama lakshanam. This transmigratory word where we are being samsara. Samsara means nicely pulled, means badly pulled. Our desires, our imperfections are pulling us here, there, life after life. That is samsara. And it has its causes. Our wrong knowledge, etc., they are its causes. Because of that wrong knowledge, we get shoka, moha, all these things. They become the causes. So, sahetukasya sansarasya atyanta uparama lakshana. Atyanta means once for all. Uparama, it is silenced. The sansara is silenced, is brought to stillness. No more sansara. That is the prayojan of the Gita Shastra. As I was telling again and again, don't find economics, sociology. That is not the prayojan of Gita Shastra. It may be there, but that is not the prayojan of the Gita Shastra. Samsarasya atyanta uparamalakshana. Now we are talking about this sambandha. How? How will Gita bring about this change in us? Tatcha sarva karma sannyasa purvakat atma jnana nishtha rupat dharmat bhavati. So, out of that pravritti and nivritti lakshana dharma, we have to take that dharma, atma jnana nishtha, our own nature. We feel it, we know it, we are going to realize it, and we are steadfast in that nishtha. Even you may say we have known it, but we are steadfast in it. Not that now it is there and now it is not there. No. It is by this steadfastness in the real knowledge only that this samsara will quieten, along with its reasons. And sarva karma sannyasa purva. Very important word. Sannyasa, dispassion, renunciation, giving up of all activities. All means we eat, we breathe. That is all activity. And how all activities will be stopped? Shall we die? No. Remember this. The only way to stop all the activities is to give up the ego, the doer. That is the only way. Remember, Shankar is again and again taking sarva karma sandha. People say he is against karma, he is in favor of jnana. He has shown by the anatomy of mukti that it depends upon the right knowledge. And right knowledge can come only when outgoing tendency is stopped. So when it means sarva karma, we have to take a sarva has no exception. Whether it is bodily karma or mental karma or vocal karma, whether it is for maintenance of the body or anything. So the only way to go beyond sarva karma, remember, firmly remember, because of emphasis, we should not be misled. We'll see all those places also. So, sarva karma sannyasa purvaka, that means first, I, the doer, is gone, and then that knowledge meets its fulfillment. Knowledge meets its fulfillment, becomes permanent after the I, the doer, is gone. We shall see all these things in detail as they come across. But I is the only obstruction from realizing our own real nature. And this I has two levels. I am the doer and I am the experiencer. When I am the doer, I am the experiencer of this world. Only when the I am the doer goes away, I am the experiencer of Brahman. And that has to go away, then I am man of knowledge. That is the scheme of the Gita. And so we shall deal with this again and again. So here we have to understand sarva karma sannyasa purvakat. First this, then that. Atma dhyana nishtha rupat dharmat bhavat. So both types of dharma you may see. Karma sannyas rup dharma and jnana nishtha lakshana dharma, one after the other. That is how that moksha will come about. Param nishwarasa will come about. So he has told the purpose and the connection, how it will come about. Tatha imam eva gita artha dharmam uddishya bhagavata eva uktam. Bhagavan himself has told, this is the purpose of Gita. Sai dharma suparyapto brahmana padavedane iti anugita. So we must understand what is this anugita. No, Gita was talked about in the war, we know. After war is over and they are all relaxed and Arjuna and Bhagavan are just lying down peacefully. There Arjuna says, oh Lord, in that time, how could I remember everything? So will you please tell me again? The Lord says, impossible. Because of the crisis in your life, I could tell all that. Otherwise, in this relaxed position, I will not be able to tell. But if you are interested in recapitulation, I can tell something. Anugita. Gita told afterwards that nowhere reaches the depth of the original Gita. But certain things are there. So there Bhagavan has told about this Gita. About this Gita he has told there that Sai Dharma Suparyapto Brahmana Padavedana. To know the real nature of Brahman, that what was taught in the Gita is sufficient. So Prayojan has been declared there. Kimcha Anyadapi Tatreva Uktam. Some more things he has told there itself in Anugita. Naiva dharmi, na cha dharmi, na chaivahi shubha shubhi. Yah syad ekasane lina tushnim kinchida chintayan. So he is neither practicing virtue nor is he doing wrong thing. He is not interested in good and bad. He is sitting on one asan. He is immersed in God, silent. He is not thinking anything. So even that doership of the thinker also is absent. That is the prayojan that he has told. In other shlokas also in the Anugita. Jnanam sannyasa lakshanam iti cha. Third thing from Anugita. Because Shankar said that jnana is sarva karma sannyasa purva, that also he has confirmed in Anugita. Jnana, the nature of which is sannyasa. Iyapicha ante uktam arjunaya. Here means in the Gita itself. Ante, end means 18th chapter. In the 18th chapter, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vrajayati. This is confused by many narrow-minded people. Sarva Dharman, it does not mean give up Hinduism or Muslimism or Islam. It does not mean give up Shakta, Shaiva, Pancha. No. Sarva Dharma means any Guna Dharma. Their Dharma means Guna Dharma. Characteristics. I am so and so means I have so and so characteristics. So and so likes and dislikes. Those you give up. Any upadhi, anything attached to this I consciousness is called Sarva Dharma. Parityajya. You have to come out of it. Mam ekam sharanam vraja. That also the so-called people say, only me, only Krishna, no Rama, no Shiva. That cannot be the meaning. If Rama or Shiva are different from Krishna, then this one does not satisfy. Mam ekam, I am one without a second. I am alone existing. As Rama, as Shiva, as Parvati, as Durga, I am alone existing. That one. I as one reality. That is the real meaning. Shankar will show that. And so he has said, in the end also, he has said the same thing. Give up everything related to I. And Sharanam Raja, surrender to me. Give up your I, not in front of some XYZ, but give up your I in front of God, one without a second. So, same thing he has told in this Gita also, in these words. Now, one more point. He has said that Vedic Dharma is both for Abhyudaya and Nishreya, worldly prosperity and renunciation. Now, how they are related? This is the supreme contribution of the Gita itself. Abhyudayartha api ya pravritti lakshano dharma. I'll take it tomorrow. This is an important point. Let us stop here. This last point, where seen how Gita Prayojan is moksha, but this particular point, how Abhyudaya Dharma has to be adopted, that we shall see tomorrow. Om Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetra Ekapanaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gita-amrita Duhe Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna.
Prapanna parijataya totra vitraikapanaye jnanamudraya krishnaya Gita-amrita duhe namaha.